First thing you'll see is paracord, a smaller tin. This looks like a tablet, but apparently it's a compressed towel. We'll take that out and put that to one side for now. This smaller tin intrigues me straight away. Put the rest of the kit out there for now. This smaller tin, this is actually a fishing kit, and in there, take it all out, put that to one side for now. In there, that's your fishing line. According to the instructions, it's only a £6 line, so you don't want to be catching sharks on it. 2 little lures, a worm lure and a maggot lure. You've got your brass eye in there if you needed to create a pole for anything. Shots, little shots, they are, doesn't say how much they weigh, but they are your little shots there anyway. Just 2 more. Now you can actually create your own fishing hooks, but if you've got a fishing set like this, then obviously there's no need. I'll get that in a minute. Little safety pins. You don't have to use them for fishing. Get off of there. Don't have to use them for fishing, but they're there anyway. Little swivel, bar swivel, and then that's the other shot line there. Shot, should I say, not shot line. Hooks, big hooks, barbed hooks as well. So you want to be very, very careful when you're handling them. As you can see, I have actually already got myself hooked on these once. Obviously they're very, very sharp. I would actually take this, if I was to create my own survival kit, I would actually take that, simply because it's in its own little tin more than anything else, so it keeps everything nice and protected. Maybe I'll put a slightly stronger fishing line in there, but stronger fishing line obviously takes up more space. That's just a little emergency light source, so you crack it in there, and you've got yourself a little light, a little bit of a light. Then put that to one side, bring the tin back in. Paracord, nicely done up there. There is in there, I should imagine, about 10 metres of line, maybe even a little bit more. Actually, it doesn't say that, it says 1 metre of paracord. But £550 breaking strain. Now, you can use this for a lot of applications. Some people would use it as a snare line. Yes, in emergency, if you really, really needed to. Wire is better. Wire is a lot better for snaring. I personally don't like snaring anyway, but that's something I'll come on to at a later time. This little gadget here. Now that, although it looks like just a normal piece of black plastic, there's actually quite a lot in there, believe it or not. On the edge you might not be able to see it, but that is your little fire striker ferrocerium rod. It's also a whistle as well. How good the sparks off of it is, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out at a later time how well that the actual rod itself sparks. So just on the edge there, don't know if you can see that. Okay, I'll let you guess what that is. Many of you will probably be able to tell straight away, but I'll leave that there for a second. Little compass, always useful to have a button compass. If nothing else, you know which way north is, and you can find your way out of trouble. Right, is surgical tape in there. Surgical tape. Basically, it's your first aid kit, essentially. Yes, I would take that. And there's a little striker to go with the ferrocerium rod. Honestly, with a kit like this, I would have thought they wouldn't have supplied something like this. They would have expected you to. They would have expected you to use your knife. So it's a nice little addition in there. Let's see how well this strikes. Scrape some of the paint off. Might take a little bit more work. I'll work on that. So it should actually come like that, but it didn't, which what threw me. Little sewing kit. Would I take it? Yes, I would take it. Sewing kit's more than useful for just patching clothing up. Again, you can create hooks out the safety pins in there that you need to. Now then, I've left this on screen for a little while. Some of you, like I say, will probably have already figured out what it is, and it is exactly what some of you think it is. It's a condom. Get your minds out the gutter, it's not for that. A condom can be used as a couple of different things. Most importantly, it can carry quite a lot of water without breaking, and that is the main reason why you would carry one. It can also be used as a burn bag. That particular one anyway can be used as a burn bag. If you happen to burn any extremities like your foot or your hand. Anything else you would need a more appropriate burn materials. Let's just talk about the little tin itself. I will put that away. The tin itself, move it in a bit more so you can see. You can boil a small amount of water in there, but really, would you want to? Would it be worth it if you need it? Would it be worth it if you were desperate enough? Probably. The main use of the tin, other than the obvious, it keeps all the kit together. It is shiny enough. It's not quite perfectly shiny, but it would be shiny enough to give a sun signal if you needed to. Now, some people would say that you could also create char cloth with this. Yes, however, there is no hole in the tin itself, so creating char cloth would be difficult, as the smoke would need somewhere more effective to escape. So all in all, yes you can, but it probably be a little bit of a waste of time, if I'm perfectly honest. So I'm going to put all this back in the kit now. Keep out just for now what I would include in a survival kit if I was to create my own one. So definitely keep all that. I'm going to put the button compass back in the tin, not because I don't want to include it in a kit, but, well, you'll see the difference. I'll put that to one side, along with the kit content. Moving on to the bigger kit. Now this was the one that was £20, or £19.99 actually, from Amazon. Again, does come with a little rubber band to keep it all together. Personally, I prefer the slightly bigger one, but obviously the bigger one won't go around this tin. On the inside of this one, you get Paracord, always take paracord. Now this is the main reason why I put the other button compass back. If you compare the size of them, in this case bigger is slightly more accurate. There's nothing wrong with a smaller compass, but for this I would keep the button compass itself, so that would go to one side. Now in here there should be, along with everything else, there should be a little description, but in case you lose it, on the back there is contents and a brief description of what you can use everything for. So let's take everything out. First of all, do this one slightly differently. Okay, so there's the tin. I would definitely take this tin over the smaller one, just because it is obviously bigger, so therefore you can fit a bit more into it, but mostly because if you were to boil water in that, you get a substantial amount more. Now if you look on the back of the tin, it actually says here water purification, boiling, cooking, digging, reflector signal, make char cloth for tinder. Now this is the problem I have with this tin. Once you put the lid back on, there's nowhere for smoke to escape, so you would have to create your own little hole, which then kind of almost negates the waterproof, water resistancy of the tin. But you can do it. There's nothing stopping you. But that's my personal thoughts. The lid of the tin itself is a lot shinier than the smaller one, so you get a much better reflective surface, and therefore much better chance of rescue using it as a sun signal or heliograph. So the tin would definitely make it into my own personal survival kit. I'm just going to put these all in here for now, just to keep everything nice and out of the way. What else do you get in there? Well, this is a water filter, nice basic paper water filter. Probably only be able to use it a couple of times before it was too messy to use. There are better ways of filtering water, but the fact that this is in a survival kit and makes life easier, that will definitely go in there. A little bit of tin foil, aluminium foil. Again, you can use it for signalling, you can use it for purification, or you can use it for cooking. It's more reflective than the tin lid. Would I include it? 50-50 on that one, so I would leave that there and decide a little bit later on. Note paper and pencil. Note paper, no. But the pencil, yes. The reason I would say no to the paper, paper's always a good idea because you can burn it, you can use it as tinder, but if you're in a survival situation, who are you writing to? Just a thought. Pencil, however, yes, because pencil can always be used. Always be used. Stock cubes, or iron cubes actually. Good idea. Hadn't thought of it myself, but yeah, good idea. I would include them. Same type of whistle and ferrocerium rod. You can actually see better. Excuse me. You can see better on there where the striker is. And there's the striker itself. Which a lot of people don't realise with these strikers that because they're made of magnesium, they actually they corrode pretty quickly in air. So new one has a good spark. New ones tend to be painted. New ones tend to be painted, so you've got to scrape the paint off before they will work. Now that one works better than the other one, so I would actually swap the two over. There's the other one, just to one side. Surgical blade. No more needs to be said about that. If you needed to remove anything from your body, then surgical blade would be it. Would I include it? Yeah, of course I would. Wire saw. I've always had a little bit of contention with wire saws, mainly because they can't cut as big as people think they can. They are safer than an axe, no doubt about that. They are much safer than an axe. But people are thinking they can cut down massive branches with this. They can't. They really can't. If you wanted to do that, then you'd need to get like a chainsaw, manual version of the chainsaw. It is good though. It does save a lot of energy rather than an axe. And the best thing about these is I've actually got rubber handles on the end. What you can do as well is you can take something like a pencil, well not a pencil but another branch, stick them through the loops and you've got much better grasp on your saw. So would I include that? Again, that would be I'll put that with the tinfoil and decide at a later date. Little tub of Vaseline. Again, get your minds out the gutter. In this case, it would be for firelighting. Would I include it? Oh yeah, definitely. Some wound dressings, first aid kit, salt and sugar. That is for if you get dehydrated, not to make your chips taste nice or your coffee. In case you get not dehydrated, but you start feeling sick. So would I include them? I'd definitely include that lot in a tin and was making for myself. Some duct tape, goes without saying. Water purification tablets. Those ones, looking at them, they would probably do a litre each. There's enough for 2 litres there. So I would imagine anyway. Most water purification tablets will do a litre. Already talked about condoms. So no harm in including 2. Tampon. Yes, a tampon. Don't go ew. They are useful. They absorb a lot of blood. They are wonderful wound dressings. Would I include one? Yes, absolutely. Sewing kit, well there's already one in there, so no need for that. Little light sources and safety pins. Some more there as well. Little rubber bands, you can actually use them for what you'd normally use them for, such as keeping things together, tying things off. You can also, in certain situations, you can get them burning as well. So you've got tinder there as well. Would I include them in the kit? Probably not. I've got enough tinder already in my survival kit. That fishing kit, would I include it? Not as it stands. I would probably include the maggot lures and the floats. In fact, I would actually probably put it in the kit, but I'd lose the plastic bag and this little foam thing, just to make it a little bit smaller. and I'd obviously put it in that little tin as well. Try and get it in that little tin as well. So yes, but not as it stands. There is also another light source in that bigger tin. It's a light source, it's up to you whether you take it. Now, let's move these out the way. Snare wire. As I've already mentioned, I do not like snaring. It's a good practice. It's a good thing to know. However, I've also seen it go wrong. When it goes wrong, the most common thing that happens is you pray the thing you're trying to snare doesn't die. Not quickly, it strangles to death. The idea of snaring is to break the neck. But if you don't do that, then it's quite a cruel way to end. If you've ever choked, that's basically what it is. Is the wire thick enough for snaring on this? Yes, definitely. There's enough there, and I know some people are going, oh my god, he's handling snare wire with bare hands. Well, yes I am. I don't intend to use it as it stands. If I needed to, then yes, I would put gloves on to create it, but I've got no intention of creating a snare just yet. But would I include it in a kit? Yes, I would. Okay. So that would be my personal survival kit, made out of 2 kits that I've bought from Amazon. Now obviously I will be re-separating them and putting them back in their original containers, and I will be keeping hold of them. I'm not going to give them away or anything like that. Like I say, this was just a quick review and a quick trial video just to see how things get on. So thank you very much for watching. Like I say, I won't be activating the comments, but thank you for watching anyway.